It's your fault. Well, it's your fault, Wang Jingxi muttered under her breath, hesitant to directly blame Chu Jiang. Don't blame me. Is breakfast ready? Chu Jiang asked casually, lounging on the sofa. It's ready, Wang Jingxi replied, despite her lack of sleep. She served Chu Jiang his preferred breakfast, fresh hot milk, 4 slices of bread, and a poached egg. Chu Jiang commented on a news story he saw, regarding sexual harassment and subsequent death of the victim by suicide, expressing frustration with the lack of accountability. If you don't have the ability, you have to control yourself, he remarked to Wang Jingxi. You're the young master, you're right, she responded, rolling her eyes. You don't control yourself, talk about controlling, thought inwardly. Chu Jiang then requested a neck massage from Wang Jingxi, who obliged reluctantly. Master, are you feeling better? She asked. Not bad at all, Chu Jiang replied, enjoying the massage. Wang Jingxi inquired about plans for the afternoon. No special arrangements. I gave this villa to Wang Yufei. Help her arrange some servants to take care of it here, Chu Jiang instructed. Wang Jingxi thought to herself about Chu Jiang's generosity, but kept her thoughts to herself. Don't envy her. As the young master's personal butler, you accompany me in my daily activities. Aren't you happier than her? After their exchange, Chu Jiang teased Wang Jingxi playfully, prompting her to blush. You little girl, don't you fall in love with your master? He joked. Wang Jingxi rebuffed his teasing, but her reaction betrayed her true feelings. Chu Jiang, sensing her discomfort, changed the subject, praising the meal. As Wang Jingxi reflected on her feelings, she grappled with the complexity of her emotions towards Chu Jiang. Chu Jiang was just teasing Wang Jingxi out of boredom. As for having any romantic interest in her, it would only be a matter of time. As his personal butler, did she even have the desire for another boyfriend? That was impossible, and Chu Jiang wouldn't allow her the chance. The air near the gate was refreshing, enriched with oxygen ions from the nearby sea breeze. Relaxing on the villa's balcony with a cup of tea, Chu Jiang savored the luxurious lifestyle only the ultra-rich could enjoy. Suddenly, a loud boom shattered the tranquility as a bullet whizzed through the air, aimed directly at Chu Jiang's head. But before he could react, a white-clad figure leaped in front of him, taking the bullet meant for him. Preventing any serious harm. The projectile was halted by the muscles, failing to penetrate his skin. F*K. Are they trying to kill me? Chu Jiang reacted with a cold snort, his expression darkening. The sniper attempted to flee after the failed shot, but escaping wouldn't be so simple. 2 swift figures emerged behind him, swiftly subduing him with powerful kicks. As the sniper writhed in agony from his twisted limbs, he couldn't comprehend why the guard's shot had seemingly no effect on him. Gripped by pain and confusion, he found himself face to face with Chu Jiang, his thoughts racing. Who sent you here? The sniper remained silent, meeting Chu Jiang's gaze with a cold stare as he knelt on the ground. Chu Jiang approached him, seizing his neck firmly. Even if you stay silent, I'll find out who sent you. I've made plenty of enemies, but I can count them on one hand. He chuckled coldly. To dare send someone to kill me, how audacious. Chu Jiang commanded his guards, deal with him. Cut off his hands and deliver them to Zhao Shaokan. Tell him this is a warning. Next time, it might not just be his hands at stake. Despite the attempt on his life, Chu Jiang remained composed. With his 10 personal guards, his safety was assured. But I can't rely solely on others, can I? He mused wryly. Though his system provided many benefits, it didn't grant him superpowers or combat skills. Chu Jiang do not want to get blood on his hand in foreign territory. He'll wait for revenge against Zhao Shaokan, when that the idiot comes in his territory. However, Zhao Shaokan, seething with rage, had indeed hired the assassin. Humiliated by Chu Jiang's actions, he fantasized about Chu Jiang's demise. As Zhao Shaokan brooded in his villa, he plotted Chu Jiang's downfall. Who does this upstart think he is? How dare he defy me? Fueled by anger, Zhao Shaokan vowed retribution. Cross me, and you'll regret it. Don't mess with those you can't handle. With a scornful glance at Chu Jiang's image on his phone, Zhao Shaokan relished the thought of revenge. As Zhao Shaokan sat sipping his coffee, a sudden flash of white caught his eye, and before he could react, panic seized him. How had someone breached the tight security of the Zhao family? Before he could utter a sound, a white-clad guard struck him, rendering him speechless. Despite his instinctive attempt to cry out, his mouth contorted in pain, and no sound escaped. Master has spoken. Consider this your first warning. There won't be a second chance. The guard's voice was cold, devoid of any emotion. With a swift and deliberate motion, the guard tossed a pair of severed hands onto Zhao Shaokun's lap. Horror washed over him as he recognized them, the hands of the sniper he had sent to eliminate Chu Jiang. Unable to articulate his shock, Zhao Shaokun's expression conveyed his fear and disbelief. The realization of his own peril dawned upon him. As white-clad guards moved in and out effortlessly, Zhao Shaokan found himself utterly defenseless. The formidable security measures of the Zhao family were rendered futile in the face of this mysterious intrusion. When Wang Yufei woke up in the morning, she stretched and sat on the bed, reflecting on the events of the previous night with a wry smile. Was it worth it? Of course, it was worth it. The villa in Mena alone was worth more than 2 billion yuan, a fortune she couldn't earn even after a decade of hard work. Becoming Chu Jiang's woman meant luxury cars, lavish homes, and a lifestyle beyond her wildest dreams. Despite the absence of official titles, the perks were undeniable. As she dressed in the exquisite Dior long skirt provided by Wang Jingxi, Wang Yufei made her way to the villa's rooftop. There, Chu Jiang lounged, sipping on Dayun Maojian Tea King, the epitome of luxury. Woke up. Chu Jiang greeted her with a smile. Are you leaving? Wang Yufei asked, feeling a pang of reluctance. Yes, business calls. Now that matters are settled, I must return, Chu Jiang explained, embracing her. I'll miss you, Wang Yufei admitted, reciprocating the embrace. I'll miss you too, Chu Jiang whispered, tenderly stroking her nose. Following a hearty lunch, Chu Jiang presented Wang Yufei with a bank card, ensuring she lacked for nothing financially. There are millions in here. If you need more, just ask Wang Jingxi, Chu Jiang instructed, to which Wang Yufei accepted graciously. While Wang Jingxi inwardly grumbled about the additional responsibilities of caring for Wang Yufei, she kept her thoughts to herself. Later, as Chu Jiang departed for Mena Airport, Wang Jingxi arranged for a servant to pick him up upon his return to Heidu. Chu Jiang's persistence in asking about a private jet amused Wang Jingxi, who couldn't help but roll her eyes at his repetitive inquiry. Master, you have asked this question for the third time. Wang Jingxi remarked, her tone tinged with amusement. Chu Jiang chuckled. Ask 3 times. Are there so many? Wang Jingxi's relationship with Chu Jiang had become much closer, allowing for a more informal exchange between them. Why do I say that? Chu Jiang inquired, said lightly. It's because it's too much trouble without a private jet. Wang Jingxi replied, a smile playing on her lips. Their banter was interrupted by a young stewardess approaching their table. Chu Jiang snapped his fingers at her, signaling for her attention. Give me a glass of Conti. Chu Jiang ordered confidently. Excuse me, sir, we don't have Conti here. The stewardess replied politely. Chu Jiang didn't miss a beat. Then give me a glass of Lafite. Sorry, sir, we don't have Lafite either. The stewardess trailed off, uncertain. Chu Jiang's request continued, undeterred. Then bring me a glass of water and add 2 cubes of ice. The stewardess, momentarily thrown off by the unexpected turn of events, complied with Chu Jiang's final request. As the stewardess left, Chu Jiang turned to Wang Jingxi with a mischievous grin. Look, if we have our own plane, how can we have nothing? Wang Jingxi nodded in agreement, but couldn't help but curl her lips in amusement at Chu Jiang's antics. Master, he is too difficult to serve, this is me, if someone else comes over, I'm afraid this private housekeeper can't do a day's work at all. She quipped, shaking her head fondly. Chu Jiang's insistence on a private jet wasn't about being difficult to please, rather, it reflected his high standards for quality of life since gaining wealth. Their banter continued as they discussed Chu Jiang's desire for a private jet. Despite his repeated inquiries, Wang Jingxi found his persistence rather amusing. After getting off the plane, their conversation shifted as they settled into Chu Jiang's luxury car, a Bentley that Wang Jingxi had bought later on. Go home first, let the chef cook something to eat, I'm hungry. Chu Jiang's casual remark about food diverted their attention as they headed towards his villa. Outside Heidu Airport, Chu Jiang's luxury convoy attracted attention, leaving onlookers in awe of his opulence. Inside the villa, Chu Jiang and Wang Jingxi shared a meal together. Chu Jiang's treatment of Wang Jingxi as more than just a servant drew envious glances from other staff members. Their conversation turned personal as Wang Jingxi expressed her concerns about their relationship in the presence of other servants. Chu Jiang reassured her of her value and status, highlighting the stark difference between Wang Jingxi and the other staff members. Chu Jiang's playful teasing prompted laughter from Wang Jingxi, who couldn't help but blush at his remarks. Despite Chu Jiang's occasional naughty jokes, in real life, he treats Wang Jingxi pretty well. After dinner, Chu Jiang messaged Ning Ro to let her know he was back. Ning Ro quickly replied, mentioning she was still in class for another half hour. Chu Jiang assured her he'd pick her up later and instructed Wang Jingxi to prepare his rafa for a quick outing. Wang Jingxi, would you mind preparing the rafa? I need to go out for a bit, Chu Jiang requested. Do you need me to come along? Wang Jingxi inquired. Wang Jingxi, momentarily oblivious, asked if she should accompany him, but soon realized it was likely for his rendezvous with his girlfriend. Chu Jiang chuckled. No, you deserve a break after these busy days. Rest up. Despite Wang Jingxi's suggestion, Chu Jiang knew she'd likely join him when necessary, so he headed out alone. However, he soon realized he hadn't bought a gift for Ningro. Pondering over options, he turned to Wang Jingxi for advice. What do you think Ningro would like as a gift? Chu Jiang asked. Good idea. Let's go for couple watches. But where should I get them? Chu Jiang pondered aloud. Wang Jingxi humorously suggested a bag, only for Chu Jiang to remember he had already taken Ningro shopping for bags. After a series of similarly failed suggestions, Wang Jingxi proposed couple watches, sparking Chu Jiang's interest. He swiftly headed to the Bund, keen on exploring the selection at the Patek Philippe counter. Upon arrival, Chu Jiang was surprised by the relatively moderate prices compared to the neighboring Vacheron Constantin. Chu Jiang scanned the array of watches, noting their prices ranging from over 200,000 yuan to nearly a million. Disappointed by the relatively lower price tags, he couldn't help but express his surprise to the salesperson. Didn't you mention that Patek Philippe is the most expensive watch in the world? Why are these not as pricey as the Vacheron Constantin next door? Chu Jiang questioned, furrowing his brows. The salesperson, initially assuming Chu Jiang found the prices too steep, was taken aback by his criticism of their watches being too affordable. Sir, the watches we display here are all mid to high-end products. If you're seeking more expensive ones, we have top-level options available, the salesperson explained patiently, offering a brochure for Chu Jiang to peruse. The salesperson clarified that the displayed watches were mid to high-end, offering to show more expensive options. Chu Jiang then inspected the top-tier selection and settled on a pair of couple watches priced at 16 million yuan. These look perfect. Let's go for them, Chu Jiang decided. He made the purchase confidently, opting for exquisite packaging for Ning Ro's watch and a discreet wrapping for his own, which he intended to wear alongside his Vacheron Constantin. Upon completing the purchase, Chu Jiang received a notification from the system, informing him of a 100 times cashback. As the transaction was completed, Chu Jiang received a notification from the system, followed by his phone vibrating with a message regarding his bank account balance. Your card with the ending number 2171 is deposited with 1,600,000,000 yuan, and the balance after the transaction is Hangguo Industrial and Commercial Bank, the message read. Glancing at his account balance, Chu Jiang noted the substantial increase, likely exceeding 8 billion yuan. Chu Jiang pondered the notion of being worth hundreds of billions but ultimately shrugged off the thought. But how can I say that I am worth hundreds of billions? And most of my assets are real estates, liquid cash is too little, he mused inwardly, dismissing any concerns about the immense wealth. In Heidu University, Ning Ro's presence remained understated despite recent changes. Though her family circumstances were known to her dormitory mates, she opted not to bring the luxurious gifts Chu Jiang bestowed upon her into the campus, leaving them all at his mansion. Ning Ro understood that Chu Jiang cherished the simplicity in her demeanor, appreciating her modest approach to dressing up, which didn't equate to neglecting her appearance but rather embracing a light touch of makeup. Despite seeming unchanged on the surface, subtle shifts were evident, particularly in Ning Ro's demeanor and temperament, which had noticeably improved over the past few days. Ro, you seem so happy today. Is your boyfriend here? One of her dorm mates inquired with a grin. Yeah, Ro, last time I heard your boyfriend drives a Ferrari, what was it called? Another chimed in. Rafa. Ning Ro interjected, confirming the car's name. That's right, Rafa. I heard it costs tens of millions, her roommate exclaimed, prompting a hushed discussion. Ning Ro discreetly shared the car's rumored price with her friend before catching herself as their conversation attracted curious glances from others. Is he really that wealthy? Her roommate asked in a hushed tone. I think so, it's a limited edition model, Ning Ro replied softly. Your boyfriend must be incredibly rich. Why doesn't he buy you luxury items? Her roommate inquired, expressing a mix of admiration and envy. Ning Ro understood the implications of her relationship with Chu Jiang, recognizing that marrying well often trumped academic achievements. While a successful career might yield a modest income, it paled in comparison to the lavish lifestyle Chu Jiang could provide. However, she was keenly aware of Chu Jiang's genuine affection for her and his desire for her to remain true to herself. Meanwhile, Chu Jiang emerged from the Patek Philippe counter with a packaged watch in hand, encountering a striking woman snapping selfies by his Rafa. He greeted her with a whistle, but her dismissive attitude didn't match his expectations. Hi, beauty, add me on WeChat. He called out, undeterred by her initial rebuff. However, his persistence only garnered a curt response as the woman brushed him off. Unfazed, Chu Jiang calmly redirected her attention. Excuse me, have you finished? I need to leave, he stated matter-of-factly, signaling for her to step aside. Momentarily taken aback, the woman quickly adjusted her demeanor, extending an invitation to connect on WeChat. But Chu Jiang's response was swift and clear. Roll, he retorted with a smirk, before rolling up the car window and driving off, leaving the woman in his wake, contemplating her missed opportunity. Chu Jiang couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction as he observed the annoyed expression of the tall beauty in his rearview mirror. She might have scored an 8.5 out of 10 in his book, but what did that matter? Compared to Ning Ro, who easily earned a solid 9, or Liu Yufei, who effortlessly surpassed the 9.5 mark, her allure was negligible. As he navigated his car through the streets, Chu Jiang overheard snippets of envy from passersby, marveling at his luxurious ride. The envy of others was a constant reminder of his wealth, but it didn't distract him from his purpose. Meanwhile, Ning Ro was preoccupied with thoughts of Chu Jiang's impending arrival. Slipping out the back door of the university, she hurried back to her dormitory, changing into a fresh outfit and applying a light layer of makeup. She wanted to look her best for Chu Jiang's arrival. At the university gate, Chu Jiang received a message from Ning Ro confirming her arrival. Just as he was about to respond, the passenger door swung open, revealing a stunning young woman with a radiant smile. Ro. Huh. Chu Jiang's surprised expression mirrored Ning Ro's confusion. The woman who had just entered the car was undeniably beautiful, with an alluring figure and flawless complexion. Can you take me for a ride? She purred, her voice dripping with charm. Sorry, I'm waiting for someone, Chu Jiang replied politely, gesturing for her to leave. Unperturbed, the woman persisted, asking if Chu Jiang would add her on WeChat. Chu Jiang, quick on his feet, claimed he had left his phone behind, though he discreetly stashed it away in his pocket. The woman gracefully exited the car as Ning Ro approached, witnessing the interaction unfold. However, her presence didn't go unnoticed by Su Tingyu, the woman who had just propositioned Chu Jiang. Didn't expect you to also want to catch a winner. Let me tell you, that rich second generation is not something you can handle like a fool. Su Tingyu sneered, unaware that Ning Ro was the very person Chu Jiang had been waiting for. Stunned by the revelation, Su Tingyu watched as Ning Ro entered Chu Jiang's car. Her envy and frustration were palpable as Chu Jiang instructed her to move aside to make way for Ning Ro. Once settled in the car, Ning Ro greeted Chu Jiang softly, feeling a rush of warmth at being by his side. Brother Chu, she murmured, her voice filled with affection. Chu Jiang's firm dismissal of Su Tingyu only added to Ning Ro's amusement, and she couldn't help but burst into laughter, much to Su Tingyu's chagrin. Meanwhile, Su Tingyu was left seething with jealousy, lamenting her missed opportunity as she watched the car drive away. Back in the car, Chu Jiang couldn't help but be curious about Ning Ro's acquaintance with Su Tingyu. Do you know the girl just now? He inquired, his tone tinged with suspicion. Ning Ro assured him that they were merely acquaintances from the same department, promising to steer clear of her in the future. Chu Jiang nodded in approval, issuing a gentle reminder to Ning Ro to avoid associating with women like Su Tingyu in the future. As they drove off, Ning Ro nodded eagerly, relieved to have Chu Jiang's guidance and support. Ruru, this is for you, Chu Jiang said with a slight smile as he handed Ning Ro the Patek Philippe watch worth 8 million yuan. Thank you, brother Chu. Is this a Patek Philippe watch? Ning Ro inquired, examining the box with English lettering. Ning Ro, being a high-achieving student at Heidu University, wasn't initially familiar with the brand. However, since Chu Jiang had purchased a Vacheron Constantin for her previously, she had paid attention to other luxury watch brands like Patek Philippe. Chu Jiang revealed the Patek Philippe watch on his wrist, explaining, these two are a pair, for couples. Upon hearing this, Ning Ro's face lit up with joy. To her, the significance of wearing matching watches with Chu Jiang far outweighed the monetary value. Eagerly, Ning Ro opened the box and admired the lady's Patek Philippe watch, noticing the sparkling diamonds adorning its sapphire mirror surface. Brother Chu, is it encrusted with diamonds? She asked, marveling at the exquisite craftsmanship. Yeah, it's all diamonds, Chu Jiang confirmed, his proficiency evident even while driving with one hand. Brother Chu, isn't this too expensive? Ning Ro murmured softly, expressing her gratitude and concern simultaneously. Ning Ro couldn't shake off the feeling of being unworthy of Chu Jiang's generosity. Despite his reassurances, she couldn't help but compare herself to others around him, feeling inadequate. Nevertheless, Ning Ro cherished the watch not for its price tag, but for the sentimental value it held as a symbol of their relationship. She smiled warmly at Chu Jiang, her heart filled with gratitude. Later, as Chu Jiang chauffeured Ning Ro around Heidu in his Ferrari, she couldn't help but appreciate the vibrancy of the city. Returning to the villa, she was greeted by Wang Jingxi, who had prepared delicious snacks for her. Ning Ro's bond with Wang Jingxi seemed to be growing stronger, much to Chu Jiang's delight. Although he found their closeness surprising, he was also pleased to see Ning Ro forming connections within his household. While Ning Ro and Wang Jingxi enjoyed their snacks and conversation, Chu Jiang retreated to his office on the second floor to strategize his future endeavors. With the power of the 100-fold cashback system and his innovative mobile phone technology, Chu Jiang planned to embark on ambitious ventures, including establishing his own mobile phone factory and e-commerce platform. Considering the high cost of living in Shanxi City, Chu Jiang decided to repurpose Clay's mobile phone factory into employee housing, ensuring a comfortable living environment for his staff. He also envisioned creating job opportunities and fostering talent within his company, offering competitive salaries and incentives to hardworking employees. Chu Jiang's approach to allocating housing for employees reflects his commitment to rewarding hard work and talent within his company. By prioritizing couples where both spouses are employees, he ensures stability and support for families. For single employees or those with only one partner working at the company, Chu Jiang sets a clear path to housing, encouraging dedication and loyalty by tying eligibility to years of service. Recognizing the value of high-tech talent, Chu Jiang offers preferential treatment to individuals with specialized skills, ensuring that the company attracts and retains top-notch professionals. However, he emphasizes that success at his company is contingent upon dedication and effort, not entitlement. Employees who contribute to the company's growth can expect generous salaries and benefits, but those who shirk their responsibilities will find no place in his organization. While Chu Jiang is ambitious in his business ventures, he remains pragmatic, understanding the risks and challenges associated with endeavors like launching an e-commerce platform and establishing a logistics company. Drawing inspiration from successful entrepreneurs like Chen Dong, Chu Jiang is undeterred by the competitive landscape of the industry, confident in his ability to leverage his unique advantages. One such advantage is Chu Jiang's proprietary merchandise, particularly his innovative futuristic tech mobile phone. By choosing to exclusively sell his product on his own platform, Chu Jiang ensures a captive user base, circumventing the need to compete directly with established giants like Pinbao, Xiaobeigu, and Zhengxishi. This strategic decision highlights Chu Jiang's keen business acumen and his ability to adapt to market conditions to maximize his company's success. As Chu Jiang delved into his plans for the future, he was determined to carve out his own path in the business world, leveraging his resources and vision to build a successful enterprise. Chu Jiang's innovative approach to mobile phone technology sets his product apart in the market. With capabilities that far surpass current industry standards, such as automated 3D modeling and special effects design, Chu Jiang's new phone is poised to revolutionize the way users interact with the devices. The sheer power and convenience offered by these features make the phone an irresistible option for consumers. Despite the extraordinary capabilities of the new phone, Chu Jiang grapples with pricing strategy. While the phone's value warrants a high price tag, Chu Jiang must balance affordability with profitability. His estimate of a 20,000 yuan selling price for the low-end market reflects this consideration, ensuring accessibility without compromising on quality. Meanwhile, the mid and high-end markets cater to consumers seeking premium features and status symbols, offering even greater revenue potential. To ensure the success of his venture, Chu Jiang recognizes the need for a proprietary payment platform. By controlling this aspect of the business, he maintains autonomy and minimizes reliance on external partners. This strategic decision aligns with Chu Jiang's vision of complete independence and self-sufficiency in his business endeavors. As Chu Jiang envisions his future success, he sees himself as more than just a businessman. He is a trailblazer, a disruptor, and a symbol of achievement. His aspirations extend beyond financial gain to leave a lasting legacy, one that earns him recognition as the youngest billionaire and the most influential figure in the industry. Wang Jingxi paused her conversation with Ning Ro, her expression shifting to surprise upon hearing Chu Jiang's summons from the second floor. Miss Ning, why don't you take a break? I'll go check on Mr. Chu, Wang Jingxi suggested, rising promptly from her seat and hurrying upstairs to attend to Chu Jiang's call. Meanwhile, Ning Ro remained seated, a hint of disappointment coloring her thoughts. She admired Wang Jingxi's competence and wished she possessed similar skills. Rather than being seen as merely decorative, she longed for recognition as Chu Jiang's capable partner, not just a beautiful accessory by his side. Wang Jingxi approached Chu Jiang, her expression mirroring her thoughts as she addressed him respectfully. Master, did you call for me? Chu Jiang glanced up from his computer screen, contemplating his next move. I'm thinking of starting an e-commerce platform for fun. Could you assist me in drafting a plan? Upon hearing Chu Jiang's request, Wang Jingxi was momentarily taken aback. It seemed that her employer's ventures knew no bounds. Nevertheless, she complied with a nod. Of course, young master. Chu Jiang continued, outlining his ambitious vision. I intend to rival the current top e-commerce platforms in China. We'll aim to surpass them. Wang Jingxi's eyes widened in disbelief at Chu Jiang's audacity. Master, with all due respect, starting an e-commerce platform requires significant investment, possibly billions. Chu Jiang, however, seemed unperturbed by the financial implications. Money isn't an issue. I'm simply seeking fulfillment in this endeavor. Wang Jingxi couldn't help but voice her concerns. But, master, with your resources, why take on such a risky venture? Chu Jiang leaned back in his chair, a hint of amusement in his tone. I'm not short of money, I'm just looking for a challenge. Besides, isn't it satisfying to succeed against the odds? Wang Jingxi remained skeptical but resolved to support her employer's decisions. As you wish, young master. However, we'll need to ensure our platform stands out and that we have control over payment and logistics. Chu Jiang nodded in agreement. Exactly what I was thinking. I'll leave the details to you. With a sense of purpose, Wang Jingxi accepted the responsibility. Understood, master. I'll get to work on it right away. As Wang Jingxi turned to leave, Chu Jiang interjected, wait, have you arranged the purchase of the private jet and yacht? Wang Jingxi confirmed, yes, master. They've requested a face-to-face meeting. Chu Jiang made a decision. Set it up for tomorrow afternoon. Wang Jingxi acknowledged his instruction before leaving the room, pondering over her employer's mysterious background. She couldn't help but wonder about Chu Jiang's true identity and the source of his immense wealth. Wang Jingxi found herself naturally curious about Chu Jiang's identity, but she knew better than to pry into matters he hadn't disclosed. If it was something he deemed important for her to know, he would tell her in due time. Meanwhile, she focused on fulfilling her duties and awaited instructions from Chu Jiang. Chu Jiang's sudden interest in launching an e-commerce platform left Wang Jingxi with a mixture of surprise and concern. She knew the immense capital required for such a venture and wondered if Chu Jiang fully grasped the financial implications. However, she followed his lead, understanding that as his personal butler, her role was to execute his directives. While discussing the e-commerce venture, Wang Jingxi's financial caution clashed with Chu Jiang's seemingly carefree attitude towards spending. She couldn't help but wonder about his seemingly bottomless wealth and the source of his fortune. Yet, she refrained from prying further, respecting Chu Jiang's privacy and focusing on the tasks at hand. As the day progressed, Chu Jiang's activities fluctuated between business ventures and leisure pursuits. Wang Jingxi juggled various responsibilities, from managing appointments with potential partners to contemplating the intricacies of launching an e-commerce empire. In the evening, Chu Jiang returned home. Chu Jiang walked into the room to find Ningro waiting for him, her warmth and affection evident in her smile. Brother Chu, you must be tired, Ningro said, embracing him gently as she switched on the light. Chu Jiang returned the embrace, touched by Ningro's thoughtfulness. I didn't expect you to still be awake, he admitted, running his hand through her hair. Ningro blushed slightly, her lips forming a shy smile. I wanted to wait for you, she confessed softly. Chu Jiang felt a surge of emotion at Ningro's words. Her presence was a source of comfort and joy in his life, and he couldn't help but be touched by her unwavering support. As they stood together, Chu Jiang realized how much he missed Ningro's company when they were apart. Her presence made even the longest days feel brighter and more bearable. Indeed, the time apart had felt like an eternity, and seeing Ningro now filled Chu Jiang with a sense of longing and affection. In that moment, he knew just how much he cherished her, and he silently vowed to treasure every moment they shared together. On the second day, Chu Jiang rose early, but Ningro had morning classes, so she was up even earlier. After enjoying a carefully prepared breakfast by Wang Jingxi, Chu Jiang entertained the idea of playing golf. Jingxi, care to join me for a round of golf later? He proposed. Wang Jingxi was taken aback by his suggestion. Master, are you trying to work me to the bone? She half joked, half complained, realizing the truth in her words. As his personal butler, her salary might seem substantial, but the demands of her job far exceeded the monetary compensation. From preparing elaborate breakfasts to assisting with Chu Jiang's daily affairs and even offering advice on business ventures, her workload was substantial. And now, Chu Jiang wanted her to play golf with him. Wang Jingxi's patience was wearing thin. I've already scheduled a meeting this morning with a company specializing in e-commerce platform development. I simply don't have the time, she explained. Chu Jiang's expression turned slightly disappointed. That's a shame, he remarked. Turning to Ningro, he inquired if she was available to accompany him. But Ningro shook her head regretfully. I'd love to, Brother Chu, but I have a class with Professor Chen this morning. He's quite strict, and no one dares to skip his lectures, she explained. Though she longed to spend time with Chu Jiang, she couldn't risk her studies for leisure. All right then, Chu Jiang conceded, stretching his muscles. I'll go alone. He arranged for Ningro to be driven to school, while Wang Jingxi proceeded with her appointment with the e-commerce development company. Meanwhile, Chu Jiang headed to the golf course in his red Laffer. Heidu boasted several golf courses, but the premier destination was the Heidu Shanyu International Golf Club. Spanning an impressive 3,000 acres, the course offered 18 holes with a par of 72 and fairways stretching 7,140 yards. As he stepped onto the lush greenery, Chu Jiang's decision to play golf was a mix of curiosity and indulgence. After all, golf was a favored pastime among the wealthy, and he was keen to experience it firsthand.
That's it for the day, folks. I hope you enjoyed this journey through the realms of imagination. If you love this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on all our future adventures.